Are you applying for a product manager role but your resume is not shortlisting? Don't worry, in this video I'll be sharing with you 5 golden tips that will make your resume get noticed, and number 5 will blow your mind. So watch this video till the end. Tip number 1 is add your LinkedIn profile. At the top of your resume, just below your name, add your LinkedIn profile URL as well along with your portfolio. Why? Why this is important? Because recruiters and hiring managers, they, rather than skimming through your resume, they first check your LinkedIn profile and it makes a better impression over them. And why do they check your LinkedIn profile rather than your resume? Because you have already created this resume after putting a lot of efforts. Why? The reason is very simple, that these resumes can be easily manipulated. People write down the things that are not even relevant to their profile, and they write down those things into their resume, and so they are trying to manipulate their resumes. But manipulating your LinkedIn profile is not so easy. That's why recruiters and hiring managers rely a lot on your LinkedIn profile. And while adding your LinkedIn profile, an important thing is that first of all, have your LinkedIn profile optimized. Have all the sections properly put in over there, and all these sections should showcase that you are someone who wants to get into this product management role. You have worked in XYZ role and now you are looking for making a transition. Because unless your LinkedIn profile will speak that thing clearly, they will not get the right sense out of it. Because sometimes I have seen this thing. Some people, they have their resumes crafted in such a way that they are trying that to showcase that yes, they are an aspiring product manager, but their LinkedIn profile showcases that they are working in some other role, or it's just optimized just for their existing role, either it's the Scrum Master or whatever the role that they are currently working in. So you need to optimize your LinkedIn profile in such a way that it should showcase that yes, you are working in this particular role, and now you are having an interest into product management role, and you are looking for a transition into product management role. So this is something really, really important that you need to include. And as per a research, 48%, only just 48% resumes, they include their LinkedIn profile, and out of them hardly 5% are optimized. And why I mentioned that you need to have your portfolio added on the top of your resume, because that portfolio will showcase the work that you have done to get into this product management role, the practical things, because no one wants to hire someone, especially in this product manager role, who is having just this theoretical knowledge about product management role. Everyone wants to hire someone who had gained the real experience, or who have get their hands dirty in building something, okay, that showcases, because this practical knowledge is important for a role of a product manager. As I was mentioning about optimizing your LinkedIn profile, so that's why in the next video I'll be covering the 5 tips to make your LinkedIn profile in such a way that you will get a lot of product management job opportunities fast. So don't forget to check that out. Tip number 2 is add measurable metrics. A lot of time I've seen that people in their resumes, in their job, in their work experience, they talk about their responsibilities. Let's suppose if you are working as a Scrum Master or as a QA, everyone knows that what a QA does, what a Scrum Master does. The important thing for someone or a hiring manager or a recruiter is that what you have achieved by doing that particular action. Because in product management, it's all about that how many features you have built. The more important for us is that what impact that particular feature had bring into the customer's life, or what impact that it bring into for the business. So that's why it's really, really important for you to add measurable metrics over there. So let's suppose if you are working as in the support team and you are fixing the bugs over there. So rather than mentioning that support fix the bugs, no, don't mention that. Rather than mention that I have worked on this part which reduced the bugs by 20%. Okay, so there should be some measurable metric that you need to showcase. That should be the impact. And a lot of time people are not aware that whatever the work they had done, what impact that had bring into the life of the customers or into their business. So in that case, what I will recommend you, either go and check with your managers, okay, and ask them कि हमने ये जो feature launch किया था, so what impact that feature had brought in, okay. So you need to discuss around that as well. And also, if sometimes you are not even able to figure out that what impact it had bring in, so in that case, I will recommend you an exercise to ask you, so what. So basically, if you have mentioned that I have fixed 10 bugs, so what? So that had helped customers continue the product rather than getting churned out of it. So what? So that had increased the revenue of the company by 10%, or that had increased the customer lifetime value for the company by 50%, 40%. So this is something that is coming at the end, is something that you need to mention over there rather than talking about the responsibilities. Because in product management, it's not all about that how many features that you have built, the number of meetings that you have done, or the PRDs that you have created. It is important that did that move the needle? Did the product metrics improve? Did that impact the North Star metrics? Speaking of impact, want to know that how you can become a product manager and make an impact in this particular role. To get this, what I will recommend you, that you will find a link in the description below, and from there book a one-on-one free demo call with my team, where we will help you in figuring out that how you can easily land into this product management role in the smoothest and the easiest way, and how we can help you make this smooth transition into the product management role. Tip number 3, no graphics, no columns. A lot of time people add their profile photos into their resume. They even add some stars or some bars or some graphs to showcase their skill. And even sometimes people use multiple column layout as well, that there is a column, 20% column or 30% column on the left side where they and their 70% column. So they try to separate it out, okay, in the form of the columns. So I will recommend you that please don't do this thing. The point is, because your resume first passes through the ATS, application tracking software, and this ATS is your number one enemy here while in getting your resume shortlisted, okay. So this ATS simply parse through the text. It is not able to parse the images, icons. Even I have seen people, they add some like for their phone number, along with that they add an emoji of the phone, or their email emoji that they generally use. Don't do that at all. Only have text in your resume, because this ATS will not be able to parse through these emojis, these images, these graphic elements, and what it will generally do, or it will not even able to figure out that it's a left column, it's a right column. So it is just do line by line, it pass through, and if let's suppose there is an image in between, okay, it will not consider it, and it will concatenate the two lines or two things that are different over there. So let's suppose on the left side you have mentioned your skills that you are good at, on the right side you are talking about your experience or your education. It will merge both of them, and it eventually will convert into a mess, okay, for when ATS will pass through it. So don't make this mistake. This is something really important, and that will reduce your chance of getting resume shortlisted. Tip number 4 is focus on readability. Would you like to read a book where there are no margins on the top, on the left, right, or in the bottom of the page, or where the font is very small, okay, where there's no images, no graph, the presentability is not so good. I'm sure that if you will go through such book, you will hardly 10 pages or 20 pages, and after that you will quit reading that book. Same goes with your resume as well. In order to make a single page resume, I've seen a maximum aspiring product managers, they try to compromise with the readability of their resume. They try to fit in everything into it, and they compromise with the readability of the resume. What do I mean by that? They hardly leave any spacing on the top. They hardly leave any margins on the left or the right. They use very small fonts. The spacing between the lines is very less. So in that case, why they are doing this thing? They are doing this thing because they want to fit in everything into a single page, or they want to showcase maximum things in that particular resume. But this is a wrong approach. Why? Because when you do this thing, you are compromising with the readability of your resume, because it will look like a mess to the hiring manager or the recruiter. And rather than using any magnifying glass to read those things, okay, they don't want to waste their time. They are already having a lot of resumes pipeline for them. They simply throw away your resume and they don't even consider your resume. So don't make this mistake, please. So rather than that, what I will always recommend you that always have a good spacing on the top, on the bottom of the page, on the left and the right side of the page, and also don't go below the font size of 11, and also have a good spacing, line spacing of 1.5 between the two lines, because that will enhance the readability of your resume and that will increase the chances that the recruiter or hiring manager will go through it. Basically, it will make an impact for them. Okay. Tip number 5 is correct resume length. By adding the space on the top, on the left and right, and also increasing the line spacing, definitely it will increase the length of the resume, right? And I'm sure that you must have heard that you should have a single pager resume. But do you know that why this concept of single pager resume comes into the picture? This thing come into the picture, reason was very simple, because people were adding unnecessary thing into their resumes, and that's why this thing comes into the picture, that you should have a single pager resume. So you should be putting only the important stuff over there. And now people didn't consider this thing that you need to add only important stuff. They are just compromising with the readability. So now question comes in that what should be the ideal length of a resume in that case? And another important thing is, guys, if you are compromising with the readability of your resume, if the hiring manager or recruiter will not find it impressive to read that particular resume, it doesn't matter it is a single pager resume, that doesn't make any sense for them. If it is having a good readability, if it will be a 2-pager resume, definitely they will consider reading it, right? So it doesn't make any sense that if you are getting a book of this size and this size, जो बड़ी book है उसके अंदर अगर readability आपका अच्छा है तो definitely you will consider reading it rather than a slim book, okay, which is having a very poor readability. So same goes here as well. So don't compromise with the readability. So rather than just put necessary things into the resume. Now comes an important question that what should be the ideal length of your resume in that case? So it varies for person to person depending on their years of experience. So if someone is having 0 to 5 years of experience, I will recommend you that you should have a single pager resume, not more than that. If you are having an experience of 5 to 10 years, in that case, 1.25 to 1.5, okay? This is okay for you. And if you are having more than 10 years of experience, in that case, you can consider going for a 2-pager resume as well. Along with the resume, the another thing that will add a lot more credibility into your resume is your LinkedIn profile, and that will definitely increase your chances of getting resume shortlisted. So in the next video, I'll be talking about top 5 LinkedIn tips that will increase your chances of getting product management jobs. And if you are thinking of becoming a product manager, don't forget to click on the link below and book a one-on-one demo call with my team, where we will show you that how we can help you land a high-paying product management role in the easiest and the smoothest way.